Do you have a favorite YouTube channel? You know, that one channel you open first thing in the morning, watch while eating, and maybe even keep watching right after a shower? Good. Now, let me ask you straight, are you sure the person making those videos actually owns that channel? Because it's possible, highly possible, that the channel you're watching was sold a long time ago, sold to a massive financial investment fund, a corporation whose name you've never heard of, and they never intended for you to find out. The creator is still there on the screen, the voice is familiar, the thumbnails look exactly the same, but the power to decide what videos to make, what to say, and where to take the channel has been on the desk of some guy in a suit in New York since 2 years ago. And the craziest part? They have absolutely no legal obligation to tell you this. Unlike ads or sponsorships, those have to be clearly labeled. But selling the entire channel? The law doesn't require them to disclose it. To date, private equity funds, or PE for short, have quietly spent over $4 billion to take over YouTube channels. $4 billion. That's equivalent to the GDP of some entire countries. And they aren't buying views. They aren't buying subscribers. They're buying something far more precious. They are buying your trust. But that's not even the craziest part. Okay, let's try to step inside the mind of a PE fund. Imagine a glass room, warm lighting, and some guys wearing suits that cost more than a brand new Tesla staring at a PowerPoint screen. Their business model is terrifyingly simple. Buy, fatten up, sell. That's the whole formula. Like buying a chicken, fattening it up for 3 months, then selling it at the market for 5 times the price. The cycle is usually 5 to 7 years, enough time to turn a normal YouTube channel into a money-making machine, and then offload it at a sky-high price. But which channels do they pick? Not the biggest ones, not the trendiest ones. They pick channels like professional hunters. The criteria are clear as day. 1. Stable, proven AdSense revenue. Not just a one-hit viral wonder, but consistent like clockwork. 2. A small team, ideally 5 to 6 people. Low operating costs, high margins. 3. A loyal audience community. They don't need millions of views per video, but they need viewers who believe in the creator. That third one, belief, is the real asset they're aiming for. And once they've picked a target, they roll out a strategy with a fancy name, roll-up. Imagine it like this. Instead of buying one rare comic book for $1 million, you gather 10 common ones, bundle them together, and sell that set for tens millions dollars. They buy individual small channels for 3 to 5 times their annual profit. Sounds expensive, but then they merge 10 channels into a single company. One legal department, one HR team, one centralized ad system. Costs drop drastically, and the total valuation? Suddenly it jumps to 12 or 20 times the profit. They don't need to make better content. They don't need to hire better people. They just need to merge them. This multiple trick in the finance world is called multiple arbitrage. As for me, I call it accounting magic. All right, now the question is, after the buy, what do they do with the channel? Short answer, they optimize. Long answer, they turn a YouTube channel that once had a soul into a content factory. Remember, the deadline is 5 to 7 years. They have to return profits to investors. The pressure is like a pressure cooker on high heat, so the formula becomes increase video count per week. Cut down on research time. Only stick to topics already proven by the algorithm to get views. Eliminate all personal, creative, or risky ideas. Instead of making videos for passion, now you make videos for the dashboard. And there's another fear that PE is particularly obsessed with: the key person. They call it Keyman risk. Imagine you just dropped $10 million to buy a legendary local pizza joint, but the entire secret recipe is locked inside the head chef's mind. The day he walks out, the shop collapses instantly. That is exactly the problem PE has with YouTube channels. If that creator decides to burn out, quit, or worse, gets into a scandal, the whole investment vanishes. Their solution? Gradual replacement. Hire new hosts. Younger, more photogenic, and easier to control. Use AI to filter scripts, ensuring everything is brand safe. Every line goes through the fund's editors before going live. The original creator, they are now shareholders. They've got the cash. And the reason to stay quiet is bigger than the reason to tell the truth. Because if the audience knows the channel was sold, trust collapses, the channel's value drops, and their shares lose value. Silence, in this case, is an asset. Case number 1. Electrify Video Partners. This is one of the biggest buyers today. Their portfolio? Fireship, Simple History, Improvement Pill, Fern. And here's the shocker. Veritasium. Veritasium is a science channel trusted by millions. Derek Muller, the founder, sold a majority stake to Electrify. He still appears in the videos. He still does science. But he is no longer the real boss. And he kept this hidden from the audience for 2 years. The actual result? The channel is still good. Quality remains high. It's still growing. That shows not every PE destroys things, but it raises a tough question. Even if the results are good, don't you have the right to know? Case number 2. LunarX and the Game Theorist disaster. In 2022, LunarX acquired MatPat's Game Theorist channel, one of YouTube's legendary gaming analysis channels. Then MatPat left, and everything collapsed exactly according to the formula PE fears most. Monthly revenue dropped from $52,000 down to between $13,000 and $17,000, a 70% loss in revenue, even though subscribers kept growing. Because people followed the channel but stopped watching because they weren't following the channel. They were following MatPat, and MatPat was gone. This is the most expensive lesson PE can learn from YouTube. On this platform, the creator is the product. You can't buy an audience's trust and then separate it from the person who built that trust. Case number 3, Donut Media and the Hand of Blackstone. Most of you probably know the name Blackstone, one of the world's largest investment funds. In 2021, through their subsidiary Recurrent Ventures, they bought Donut Media, a hugely popular car channel. Then they grew it using the classic PE model, overhiring, pushing for revenue through product review videos, prioritizing ads over authentic content. When the economy soured, they slashed costs aggressively. Result? 3 out of the 4 founders left at the same time. The audience isn't stupid. They felt the change. They switched to follow the new independent channels of the original founders. It was a vote with their feet, and the community made it very clear what they wanted. Now, I need you to sit up straight, because what I'm about to say isn't just about YouTube anymore. Why is PE hungry for the finance and education sectors? CPM, the ad price per 1,000 views on YouTube, for the finance niche can go up to $50. Traditional TV, $10 to $15. In other words, a video about stock investing makes 3 to 5 times more ad money than a TV show with the same audience size. Think you're supporting an independent finance education channel? You might want to think again. Cocomelon and the brains of children Blackstone-backed Candle Media bought Cocomelon for around $3 billion. Why? Because they built a system to track every single second, literally, to analyze which points in the video keep a child's eyes from blinking. Then they tweaked the content to ensure kids never look away. The goal isn't to entertain kids. The goal is to hijack a child's attention as thoroughly as possible, because the child addicted to the screen today is the loyal customer of the content they'll own 10 years from now. The newest weapon, political influencers. The 2024 U.S. election proved something many still won't admit. Influencers are more powerful than traditional press. Trump went on Joe Rogan's podcast, talked for 3 hours uncut, reaching straight to tens of millions of young people who don't watch TV. If PE can buy political channels and steer content to support candidates who protect their business interests, are you listening to your favorite creator's opinion? Or are you listening to Blackstone's campaign strategy, an AI company buying a talk show? Does independent editing even mean anything anymore? Think back on the journey of trust over the last 20 years. In 2008, people lost trust in banks. In the 2010s, they lost trust in the government. From 2015 to 2020, they lost trust in mainstream media. And where did that trust flow? To YouTube, to podcasts. People don't just watch them for fun, they trust them. Trust them like a friend. That's the most beautiful legacy this platform created, and that is exactly what is being targeted. Because trust isn't like views. It can't be faked. It has to be earned through every video, every honest word. But it can be inherited if you buy the right channel before the audience catches on. In the next 10 to 15 years, an influencer will run for the highest office of a nation. The most important question then will be, who owns them? And the channel you're watching right now, do you know the answer to that question?